Greetings, everyone. I just wanted to make a dramatic entrance here. So welcome once again to Oberon's Outlook on the Emotional Exchanges, which is my weekly forecast for tarot and all things related to the emotional matters. You'll have to forgive me, I'm a little dry mouth here. I don't seem to have a drink of water or a cough drop. So we're going to get just right into it. This forecast is good from today, Friday, that's August 14th, through next Thursday, August 20th. And remember, tarot is a snapshot in time. We are not medical or emotional therapists, experts of any sort. So what we tell you is supposed to give you some insights, maybe give you a possible thing to think about that may be helpful to you. Now we do all of this with the signs of the zodiac as they are arranged by their elemental association. So there are air signs, fire signs, water signs, earth signs, and we go through them each at a time. So we're going to start right now, and that is with our air signs. Air signs. These are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And they tend to be the thinker-ish kind of people. So this reading is for them. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, but I am retooling this reading. I've decided that I would like to do something that has more specific meanings for the cards, so I'm hoping to unveil that very soon, possibly next week or soon, but I've been working on it a little bit, but some things will remain the same, such as the word of the week. And of course, the word of the week is designed to give you a word or idea to think about, possibly a solution or a consideration for some of the emotional things going on. I just sort of picked those at randomly. And we have pilgrimage. So that's your word of the week. Pilgrimage sort of implies the idea of taking a journey that involves some sort of spiritual growth, spiritual obligation that is rewarding yet is also challenging, perhaps. So that's what we got for you guys for your word of the week. And now we'll move on to the main part of the reading. And I hope you like my new studio here. I'm actually in the TFT Esoteric Dungeon. No, it's not actually a dungeon, but it is, however, subterranean. It's in our basement. So I have these nice little tie-dye colors behind me to mask the rather bland walls of the basement. But I wanted to do this because I need a little more room to stretch out, and she's still working from home, the Banshee, in her daytime job. So I wanted to stay away from the area we normally shoot at because that's kind of her working area. Okay, so here we go. Just for good luck. So our first card is the Princess of Wands. And the Princess of Wands sort of indicates perhaps a fiery, youthful personality, somebody who they may bear messages, and usually those messages are good messages, but they're also bringing the idea of networking strongly, of bringing fiery characteristics to what you do. Then our next card is the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands implies a lot of speed, a lot of energy. And so I'm thinking this message, this opportunity to network, this opportunity to put yourself out there, maybe in the business world or in the networking world, is moving fast. It may be something you have to catch a hold of. How do I apply this to the emotions? I'm thinking we're really concerned with this message because perhaps it does imply also the networking is more related to an emotional matter, that maybe this is something to do with a partnership with a loved one of some sort, or maybe this could also imply the idea that there is an office romance that has a sense of separation right now, a work romance, sense of separation, the longing, the speed seems to imply that maybe things are moving in a better direction now after all this time. It could very well be that maybe for somebody who's been hoping to have emotional situation with friends or a specific friendship take up again, a long distance relationship that may or may not be really related to a work situation, but possibly could be, is in the offing. And then I have the Seven of Discs, and this one's reversed. And the Seven of Discs sort of implies a sense of movement too. It may be a sense of movement saying that it's time to complete that cycle. So maybe there's an obligation here with this situation that is involving the emotions, that is messaging, long distance situation there. And I'm thinking that that obligation thing is perhaps to say it is maybe moving on. It is moving on to something that maybe we have examined what the limits are of that relationship, and maybe we have decided that we have to move on to something else. It may be about the fiery nature of being productive, of enterprise, of networking and growth, and that maybe you had reached a dead end with that one situation. So I'm thinking the pilgrimage now ties that back in a way. The pilgrimage is saying that some of this emotional relationship with people, or a loved one even, long distance as it was, we may have to consider what we can get out of that spiritually, by dealing with it as a distance, okay? But more likely what it looks like is there will be the decision for each of the parts to move on to that better spiritual meaning perhaps. So I think that's what I got for you. I had to ponder that through, but I think that's what I have for the air signs. So now we're going to move on with our fire signs. Fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And they're kind of exploratory. They're kind of frontiers-like, magnetic. So let's give them a word of the week. And another part of being in my esoteric basement is that little odd noises may show up that are whirrings of machines, or perhaps that's the banshee walking overhead and the floors are creaking. Just not sure there. Word of the week. Patrimony. Patrimony. Well, that's a pretty antiquated word of sorts. I'm not exactly sure what patrimony means. To me, it seems to talk about fatherly attitude. So maybe saying that in this week ahead, we have to think about how we are mentoring or being guided towards, well, guiding others that maybe are under our family or responsibility quotient of some sort. So I'm thinking patrimony revolves around that, that this may be the week that fire signs will have to consider how they guide others, especially those who may be younger than them, possibly needing some guidance. So that's the word of the week. And now we'll do our reading. And I use Egyptian themed cards for this. I'm inspired by Egyptian mythos and Egyptian culture and what I know of it, their religion and their magic. So I use the cartouche cards as the elemental marker, and then I use the Eclipsos Tarot for the word of the week, and then the Clive Barrett Egyptian Tarot for the actual reading. Alrighty, and here we go. The Devil. I think this time I'll pull them all out and see if I can get a more cohesive view right from the start. The Prince of Swords. And the Princess of Wands. Alrighty. The Devil, the Prince of Swords reversed, and the Princess of Wands. Well, I think some of us in our emotional lives are dealing with some obsessive things. It could be the result of the actual nature of the relationships or just what the circumstances are right now. Many of us are dealing with being really shut up with each other because we're quarantined or we're only just starting to feel that movement again. And so there's been a lot of bad behaviors reinforced. And it may be that if people in households or situations have actually come to not care as much about each other, that may magnify that sense of just seeing what you can get away with, or in terms of your bad behaviors, things like that. But it could also mean too that these are bad habits that are going to be bad for you. Bad, bad, bad. I keep saying that word, bad. I'm also got there that Princess of Swords reversed, Prince of Swords reversed. That's kind of like the Knight of Swords. So that may be saying too that we are inclined to apply a lot of forceful energy into this situation that may be in trying to combat some of the situations of our emotional situation. We want to just sort of force and make it happen. But then you have that Princess of Wands over there, and I think the Princess of Wands is saying, hold tight, something better's coming. Think about the patrimony, the word of the week. You may see something coming to you that provides more of the balance you're looking for. It's a good energy. I'm inclined to pull another card for this one, and I'm going to say that it may have to do, it's the Five of Cups reversed. It may have to do with the fact that something is going to return. It's like a message maybe. It won't be a physical thing necessarily that provides the key. I'm wondering actually if it could be a message from an elder, a person above you, and that maybe the patrimony relates to the fact that you could receive some mentoring on how to deal with the situation, because the Devil card really does indicate some out of whack obsessiveness. The Prince of Discs, Swords. I'm sorry, God, I'm a little confused today here. Is fools rushing in, and then the Princess of Wands is hopefully hanging in there for the message, the result that brings something better to come. And I realize sometimes these cards are a little confusing. Sometimes the Prince of Wands, the Prince, seems like the Princess to me. So I may have said that inadvertently in the previous reading. But someone who never gets the cards wrong is my life mate and partner in TFT Tarot for today, the Banshee. So do check in on her material matters. Everyone. They're really getting quite a lot of attention, and they are a great forecast for education, business, financial matters. Those are on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock. So check it out. And now we're going to get on to the water signs. Water signs, you are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And your word of the week is immortality. Oh, this is so interesting because it's death, basically, the death card. And of course, that is the card for Scorpio, the death card. So the word of the week is immortality, but it's also change too. And so that's the thing, is change is constant, is perpetual. And so I'm thinking what we should tell you, water signs, is think about the changes that are going on, the changes that will continue to go on. And just remember, changes are going to keep going on. And it's better to be like a water sign and flow. That's maybe the gift of being a water sign, is that a lot of times we're able to kind of surf or navigate with our emotions, and we don't always like everything that's going to happen, but it's just going to be easier to do that than try to fight the flow, fight the resistance, all things being equal. So that's what we have for the water signs. And now we're going with the reading. I'm going to keep that. That's once again our friend, the Eight of Wands. Spirit's telling me to keep that. And Spirit's saying, go ahead now and cut and get to the rest of the reading. Banshee would say, what falls to the floor comes to the door. So I have that Five of Wands reversed. Let's put them over there. And then I have the Princess of Discs, and she's upright. Something is moving quickly towards the water signs, or some energy they will need to be quick about. It may very well be also with the corresponding reversed Five of Wands that there's some dreadful fighty kind of energies going on. I'm wondering if some of the water signs are going to have problems feeling like someone takes them seriously. They're observant, Princess of Discs. They're persevering. They have a vision here. They're seeing something and they want to clarify it and keep going with it. Yet they're reaching some sort of obstacles with Five of Wands reversed, people in the environment or energies in the environment that are trying to take over that, trying to lead away from that. You water signs have perceived what a problem is going on. You want to quickly take care of it. It's also possible too that maybe somebody is trying to move in on some of what your activities are and what some of your responsibilities are, and they're trying to compete with you, and this energy is coming quickly towards you, and you're going to have to maintain your composure and your vision to keep going with that, I think. So it's a little bit of a heady week emotionally. This looks like office politics or family politics or circle politics. It's amazing because it just seems like there's a lot of pent-up frustration with all the stuff going on, with places opening up all of a sudden. And of course, some of them are having problems because there's an immediate problem with COVID showing up again. But there's people having fights over masks, not masks, people having fights over whether their children should stay home from school or go back to school. Remember, the word of the week is immortality, but also to me changes. And this week is saying persevere, but remember, there's just so many changes going on, and water signs are going to be kind of charged with moving quickly one way or the other to respond to quick threats, or to basically work with the competing energies and say, see what is important, see what is the thing to do, and kind of hopefully redirect other people too. So that's what I see for the water signs. Use your emotional energies to speak your piece, walk your talk. And now at last we move on to the earth signs. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And you have a word of the week. You earth signs tend to be the level-headed, not quickly prone to show emotions. So, sometimes it's interesting what happens for you. And our word of the week, oh my goodness, how interesting, especially since somebody else got this. I don't remember if this was the fire signs, pilgrimage. So earth signs, you too may be feeling the need to take a spiritual journey, to let a spiritual journey or the spiritual message of seeking inform you this week ahead, especially in all matters related to the emotions, that maybe it's just better to maintain your composure that is natural to you and just go on your spiritual journey. Don't look at the bad things that are happening unless you really have to, but keep yourself grounded because you're an earth sign, and go on your journey, your pilgrimage, and look for the truth that really is special for you. So what's your reading going to be then? Earth signs. What's up ahead emotionally for earth signs? What kind of navigational eddies and flows will you have to be involved with? And I have the Princess of Discs reversed. And I have the Eight of Discs reversed. No, it's upright. I'm sorry about that. Let's put that up here. And then I have, this one's reversed, the Ace of Wands reversed. What's up here? Well, so here's what we're thinking here. That Knight or Prince of Discs reversed seems to indicate that there's a real reluctance to move ahead with something important here that's possibly impeding flow right now. Remember that the word of the week is pilgrimage, and so there's forces that are trying to move you towards a spiritual, reckoning or spiritual release or anointing of yourself. And yet the thing is that there's something that's also inhibiting it from your emotional side. It just seems like there's some general reluctance, like you don't really want to move ahead. You're sort of feeling inert there. And then with the Eight of Discs, what I think happens there, the Eight of Pentacles, is that you still feel that there's something you have to learn more about this situation. You're not quite there yet. You're looking for those insights, so you don't feel you're quite ready to take the pilgrimage. Or maybe conversely, you feel you do, but you're feeling the effect of that inertia, like something is holding you there. And the thing is that the pilgrimage is the word of the week. Something really wants you to find that spiritual value. Maybe somehow in a strange or twisted way, the delay of this, that's what that represents, the Ace of Wands reversed, is kind of a delay in this project, this enterprise beginning. Maybe this delay will cause the focus to happen somehow. The Eight of Discs is not necessarily implied a meditative thing here, but on this level it could be, because maybe it's saying as we pull back, as we make delays and we feel an inertia process happening, we're able to focus more on what we're trying to learn. And maybe that's part of what the pilgrimage is the learning still is happening. We're not going on the pilgrimage really to embrace the spiritual. We have to learn more. We have to embrace learning somehow, because that's where it comes in. So I think that's kind of like what I'm getting there. I apologize once again for my interruption. It kind of unfocused me, but pretty much that's what I'm going to go with here. I hope that everybody has a really great week, and please consider joining me again next week for my outlook on the emotional exchanges. Thank you so much, and we will